Jack, I saw a hand.
Luis? Okay. Alright, I'll hand it over to Luis, and then we'll see what the other scouts have.
Good morning. Good morning. So, I didn't really come prepared for this week, but I did. Oh, sorry, I did come with some things. So, first off, being in this church has made me sorry. Yeah, sorry. So, being in this church has really brought me closer to God and made me more reverent of my religion with coming to these services with the scouts and participating and getting to know God more. Football is one thing that really helps me get very reverent. We had a really terrible season this year. We went 0-10, but every game, before every game, we would, get on one knee, or we would stay sitting down and we would pray, for, strength or having just good luck in the game of trying to win. And even though we lost every time, I felt myself get closer to God because I knew God was there when I needed it most. Camping trips, those really do come into play for being closer to God, because when we go to like Klondike or we went to Maine and sometimes the nights were cold, or at Klondike when we were close to winning in the sled race, I would usually say like a quick prayer for me to have like a good day or make sure everything will be well in the end. And plus a story with that, I went to Wesley Forest, thank you. And I got locked in the bathroom. That was a fun night. And on the other side of the door, they were just like, just pray, Luis, we'll get you out of this bathroom soon. So, I prayed. Took a good hour and a half, hour or so, to get me out of that bathroom. So that was a fun night. And making right choices. And with making right choices, it's being around the people that I know that I can trust and that will help me with any questions in my religion. So yeah, that's one way to be more reverent, by knowing those like the Scouts. Dale Lebo has helped me with my path of becoming a good Christian believer in God. Pastor Dennis, he's been there for me sometimes. And then, yeah. So the way I become more reverent is knowing that no matter what situation I'm in, no matter what might be the problem, God is always there for me. My friends are always there for me. And I can always rely on Him when I need it most.
Thank you so much, Luis. I believe Raphael wanted to go next. All right. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everyone? Super Bowl Sunday. Who do you guys think's going to win? Chiefs? 49ers? 49ers? 49ers?
Be ready for the Steelers, so you know the Chiefs are going to win.
Well, I want the 49ers to win, so I've prayed that one.
Chiefs are named after the Boy Scouts. There's a Boy Scout connection.
Oh.
Another statistic.
I'll have to look that up. That's pretty cool. Scouting has made me more reverent in many ways. Like when I go to church, I'll come to church here on Scout Sundays, but I also go to a church in Harrisburg called LCBC. You guys ever heard of that?
Yeah.
It's a great church. Love it. It's also made me more reverent at work. Whenever I work at Sheetz, the gas station, Homestown, whenever a customer will get really mad at me, even though it's not my fault, I'll try not to get mad back. Because I think, calm down, it's all good. Pray on it sometimes. Or, I try not to fear many things, I just kind of leave it in God's hands. Like when I drive, a lot of people... I didn't mean it that way. I meant like a lot of people... I just kind of guess when I drive, see what happens. Kind of ask God if I could make that yellow light, see what happens. It's a 50-50 chance. But also there are a lot of people who don't know how to drive out there. I am one of them, but I don't stay critical or anything, but somebody like cut me off, actually getting me here. Somebody cut me off, I was like, hey, let's calm down. But I wouldn't get in a car crash unless God wanted me to. At least that's what I say. I was on my way to a scouting event. It's also a scouting event wherever. Thank you.
Wonderful job. I really know when to go next, so I'll hand the floor over to you.
Good morning. Most of you already know me, or at least I hope you do. But if not, my name is Ben. I have been very blessed to be part of Troop 262, and that the St. John's Church sponsors our troop, because it really wouldn't be possible without this church. I have the best leaders, the best pastor. I love you, Pastor Dennis. And the best, well, this wonderful congregation that is behind us, because we really wouldn't be possible without you guys, because you really support us in a lot of ways. God is in all of these people, and I have become more reverent because I am a part of this troop and a member of this church. I've always believed in God, but for a while we didn't attend church regularly. We just kind of like stayed at home and like, did our own thing. But like coming here has like helped me a lot, so like I'm really thankful for it. May 5th, I was baptized by the great Pastor Dennis, Michael Adams. And last year, we spent several months going through the God in Life program, where I did much better than my brother and sister, which seemed to surprise a lot of you, particularly Pastor Dennis, which I'm really offended by the way. But I mean, I personally wasn't surprised because given the level of competition I had, no wonder I was better. Anyways, I also had a lot of fun learning more about God, and it was great to spend all of that extra time with Pastor Dennis because I really got to kind of get to know him and know what kind of a wonderful, loving, caring pastor he is. And I really look up to Pastor Dennis. I love you, Pastor Dennis. Awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, except this summer I had the opportunity to go to Seabase in the Bahamas. And when we talk about how scouting makes you more reverent, I started coming to church because of scouting. We really never would have gotten involved in the church if it wasn't for scouting. But in a lot of ways, I've never felt more connected to God than when I was at Seabase. Because we were down there and we just didn't have our phones, we didn't have TVs, we didn't have any distractions. It was just us, this little boat that we were sailing around on, wonderful nature, and God. And I could just go out and there were no distractions. We didn't have to worry about waking up and having to get here on time. We were done with the rat race of everyday life. And every night I would just go out onto the bow of the boat and look at the stars. The stars were really beautiful in the Bahamas. And I could just think about God and talk to God about me for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and it was really, really special, and I'll always remember it. And I'm really thankful for that because of scouting, because I never would have had that opportunity without scouting, and I wouldn't really be able to be in scouting if it wasn't for this church, so thank you.
Thank you so much, Ben. Gigi, I believe she wanted to go, or Alex?
No, Gigi.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Alright, so I've been a contributing member of the Girl Scouts of America since I was 5 years old, and last February I was given the opportunity to join Scouts BSA. Becoming a member of this organization has opened many new avenues of experience for me. Joining Scouts BSA has taught me the true meaning of the word honesty, and as well as instilled upon me to seek the correct path between what is right and what is wrong. Virtues such as these have been laid before me by my Scoutmaster Michelle Libertier. I would like to personally thank her for putting in the effort to make me a better person. Despite only being a member of Scouts BSA for 1 year, I have already experienced many life-altering events than any other 14-year-old I know. Camping in Maine and Klondike has taught me skills that I could not have acquired anywhere else. I have made new acquaintances and lifelong friends that would not have been possible without the scouting community. I'm beyond excited that this opportunity was given to me, and I would like to thank all who have helped me to guide my formative influence.
Wonderful job. Up next, we have my brother Alex. Here you go.
Thank you. So, good morning.
Good morning.
So I'd like to say by coming to St. John's, it has definitely helped me grow a lot closer to God, which I personally think is absolutely wonderful for me. So as you all heard earlier, there are 12 points to the Scout Law. I personally think the most important one is a Scout is reverent. Scouts get to see God's work in so many different ways while going everywhere and all these different adventures. This past year, I got to see that work in 2 major ways. One of which was the World Scout Jamboree. While at the World Scout Jamboree, I met some of the nicest people from all over the world. 40,000 people who could come together from all different faiths and backgrounds for 12 days and live in peace together was absolutely incredible. God was showing us if the world could come together, we would truly all be better for it. It is my belief that the world leaders should take note to what Scouting does for the world. The other way was Sea Base Bahamas. While there, God showed me some incredible beauty in nature, which all people should get to see at least once in their lives. The takeaway from this is that God is with us in both people and nature, whether we think so or not. Pastor Dennis is one of those people. The best word that I could think of to come up with Pastor Dennis is helpful. Honestly, I could go on and on about what Pastor Dennis does and all the words to describe him, but helpful pretty much sums it up. Honestly, if I'm being truthful, he is one of the people I respect most in this world, which is the highest honor I personally can give to someone. Lastly, I know God is always with me, especially while in Scouting. Thank you.
Nicely done. Next up, we have Michaela.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michaela. So at this time, I would like to share how Scouting has helped to improve my character over the past year that I've been involved in Scouts BSA. Every time we gather for Scouts here at St. John's UMC, we open the meeting by saying things such as our motto, slogan, oath, law, and outdoor code. As stated in our law, a Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and ready. So although we are focusing on the aspect of reverence today, I believe that since reverence particularly deals with our relationship with God, as well as who we are as a person with God, all the things stated in our Scout law tie in with today's service. Because God wants us to be all of these things plus more. Throughout my 1 year involved in Scouts BSA, I have tried to emphasize these traits in my character, and I feel that Scouting has helped me to do so, as it has given me the opportunity to improve in said areas, and it has placed me with many knowledgeable and helpful people that can help to bring out certain characteristics in a person and who can encourage you to try to improve who you are so you can be more successful. But before I go much further, I want to thank St. John's UNC and its congregation for sponsoring us. Because without you giving us a home where we can gather, socialize, prepare, learn, and just have fun, we would be nowhere close to where we are today, and we would not be the people that you see here today. Continuing on with what I was saying earlier, Scouting has allowed for me to meet and get to know better many new people and to learn many new life skills that will hopefully benefit me in my future. In addition, it has allowed for me to practice and refine certain aspects of my character, such as my self-control, so that I may be able to better contain myself and act more mannerly. Not to mention that it has allowed for me to improve upon my public speaking skills, which is helpful in times such as this. Moving on, I want to talk about our Scout Oath, which details our duty. By definition in our handbook, a duty is what others expect of you, but most importantly, what you expect of yourself. In Scouting in particular, I have really been able to see how I've been fulfilling my duties, because I am proud of my character and who I have become. As a follower of God, we are often called to stand apart from others, because God has a unique plan for each of us. And I feel that if we must stand out in order to be who God has designed us to be, then we must have a firm foundation on which to stand. Because not doing what is common and popular at a certain point in time can often be difficult and intimidating. That is why I'm especially grateful to be in Scouts BSA, because it has shown me how deep my roots in God go, as well as just how much God can do for us. As the pastor at the church I attend once said though, just like Jesus was, we are called to suffering, because it is this suffering, I believe, that brings us closer to God so that we may live the life that He has planned and designed for us. As far as my duty to God, which is talked about in Scout Oath, I believe that I am called to suffer for being different from others, but I can be proud and grateful for this and the courage and strength that God has given me to do so, because today, many people don't seem to show the traits that God would want us to have. And in my standing apart from others, I believe that I am able to be more like who God has called me to be, and that has allowed me to see sides of things that many people just can't see. With that said, I also want to thank Scouting for helping me to develop said courage and control, because I'm becoming a better person over time, and I'm growing deeper in my relations with God, who has provided me with my happiness and standing up. And that's all I have to say.
Wonderful job, Michaela. We have a couple minutes left, so I'll do mine, and then we'll finish up with the last table and the benediction. Okay, so good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Most of you know me, but for those of you who don't, my name is Sarah. I joined Scouts BSA last year on February 1st, which is 1 year as of yesterday. I can honestly tell you that this has been one of the greatest experiences of my life. Like, no joke, this has literally changed my life, and I cannot be more grateful. I've met some of the kindest, most amazing people in the past year, and I've learned so much. So far, I have had the opportunity to earn 23 merit badges total, and I am currently star rank. Scouts hasn't only made me more knowledgeable, however, but I believe I am also a better, more reverent, and faithful person because of it. Scouting is actually the reason my family first came to this church, like my brother said. So my brothers crossed over in Boy Scouts from Cub Scouts, and our meetings started taking place here downstairs every week. So my family really liked it here, and we eventually started coming more and more often. We would attend events like Live Activity, Scout Sunday, like today, and Veterans Day. You were all very welcoming, and we felt at home here. Like my brother said, we had always believed in God, but we had never found a church that felt right for us. Here we had. You were all here for us anytime we needed help with anything, and I mean literally anything. So we became very attached to St. John's and the wonderful people that made up its congregation. We enjoyed coming here so much, so we decided we would like to become official members of the church. Pastor Dennis Michael Adams worked with us almost every Sunday after first service in helping us join the church. And on top of that, he also was helping us with our God in Life and Not Award, which is this purple knot here on my uniform. And so we worked several months with him, and so we eventually joined the church. and my brothers and I became baptized on May 5th last year. So back to scouting a little bit. Some of the ways we have practiced being reverent in scouting is that every camping trip we have a short Sunday service prepared by either the chaplain's aide or just a scout that has volunteered to do it. And we say grace before every meal. Being a scout in the BSA program has really made me realize how much God is in my life and that He is with me wherever I go. Especially camping. I know a lot of people have said this, but I really want to emphasize how much I feel like God is with me whenever I'm out on a hike or I'm sleeping under the stars or anything like that. I just know God is with me and I know He's always with me. We are also very blessed most of the time to have good weather when camping, although I think most of us prefer it when we don't. In summary, I probably never would have joined this church without scouting, but I'm very grateful that my family and I have. Before I finish up my speech, I just wanted to give a sincere thank you to everyone who helps and supports us. That includes all of you, especially Pastor Dennis Michael Adams. Okay. Our troop would not be where we are without all of you, so thank you from